In this lecture, we will see about virtual LANs, which in short is called VLANs. Then it is said that a station is considered part of a LAN if it is physically belongs to that LAN. Then whatever is a criterion of membership, it is geographic. Then there arises a question, what happens if we need a virtual connection between two stations belonging to two different physical LANs? A VLAN as a LAN configured by software. So it is a VLAN as a LAN configured by software, not by physical wiring. We will take an example. You can see here the diagram has been shown. There is a switched LAN in an engineering firm in which 9 stations are grouped into 3 LANs that are connected by a switch. Then whatever are the first 3 engineers work together as first group. Next 2 engineers work together as second group. Then next 4 engineers work together as third group. So we have group 1, group 2, group 3. Group 3, 3 engineers working together. Group 2, 2 engineers working together in a group. Group 3, 4 engineers working together in a group as third group. Then, so the LAN has been shown here to allow this arrangement configuration. Then the question is, what would happen if the administrator needed to, whoever is administrator, if they want to move 2 engineers from first group to the third group to speed up the project being done by third group? Then LAN configuration would need to be changed. The network technician must rewire, as the 2 engineers from first group have to be moved to third group. The network technician must rewire. So the problem is repeated if in another week the 2 engineers who are moved from group 1 to group 3, they want to move back to their previous group once project is complete. Then in a switched LAN, changes in the work group means physical changes in the network configuration. So physical changes in the network configuration means changes in work group, that is change in work group in a switched LAN. So there is one more figure showing the same switched LAN divided into VLANs. So you can see the next figure which is showing here the same switched LAN divided into VLANs. What is the whole idea of VLAN technology is to divide a LAN into logical instead of physical segments. To divide a LAN into logical instead of physical segments. A LAN can be divided into several logical LANs called VLANs. So LAN can be divided into several logical LANs called VLANs. Each VLAN is a work group in the organization. If a person moves from one group to another, there is no need to change the physical configuration. You can see in this diagram the arrangement. There is no need to change the physical configuration. Group membership in VLANs is defined by software. So whatever is the group membership in VLANs is defined by software, not hardware. So any station can be logically moved to another VLAN. All members belonging to a VLAN can receive broadcast messages sent to that particular VLAN. If a station moves from VLAN 1 to VLAN 2, it receives broadcast messages sent to VLAN 2, but no longer receives broadcast messages sent to VLAN 1. So this example, we can say that it can be whatever is this problem in above previous example, it can be easily solved by using VLANs. So, moving engineers from one group to another group through software is easier than changing the configuration of physical network. So, then changing the physical network, it is more easier to make the changes in the software for moving engineers from one group to another. VLAN technology even allows the grouping of stations connected to different stations in a VLAN. So this is a figure showing a backbone local area network with 2 switches and 3 VLANs. Stations from switches A and B belong to each VLAN. So stations from switches A and B belong to each VLAN. Backbone of 2 switches and 3 VLANs. Stations from switches A and B belong to each VLAN. So this diagram you can see. 2 switches in a backbone using VLAN software. So when you see, this is the good configuration for a company with 2 separate buildings. A company with 2 separate buildings, this is a good configuration. Then each building can have its own switched LAN connected by a backbone. Then people in first building and people in second building can be in the same work group even though they are connected to different physical LANs. So a VLAN defines broadcast domains. VLANs group stations belonging to one or more physical LANs into broadcast domains. Stations in a VLAN communicate with one another as though they belong to a physical segment. As though they belong to a physical segment. Physical segment. Next we'll see about membership. So here what is then what the question is, what characteristics can be used to group stations in a VLAN? Then who are the vendors? They use different characteristics. What all they can use to group stations in a VLAN? Interface numbers, port numbers, MAC addresses, IP addresses, or a combination of 2 or more of these. Then interface numbers. Some VLAN vendors use switch interface numbers as a membership characteristic. For example, who is the administrator can define the stations connecting to ports 1, 2, 3 and 7 belong to VLN 1 and stations connecting to ports 4, 10 and 12 belong to VLAN 2 and so on. Then MAC addresses we'll see. Some VLAN vendors use 48-bit MAC address as a membership characteristic. It is used by some vendors. For example, the administrator can stimulate having MAC addresses. Example given E2 colon 13 colon 42 colon A1 colon 23 colon 34 and F2 colon A1 colon 23 colon BC colon D3 colon 41 belonging to VLAN 1. IP addresses. Some VLAN vendors use 32-bit IP address as a membership characteristic. For example, the administrator can stipulate that stations having IP addresses 181.34.23.67, 181.34.23.98 and 181.34.23.1112 belonging to VLAN 1. Multicast IP addresses. Some VLAN vendors use the multicast IP address as a membership characteristic. Multicasting at the IP layer is now translated to multicasting at the data link layer. Combination. Just a minute. characteristics. Some multicast vendors multicast IP addresses. Some VLAN vendors use multicast IP address as a membership characteristic combination. It is observed that recently the software available from some vendors allow all these characteristics to be combined. The administrator can choose one or more characteristic when installing the software. So in addition to that, the software can be reconfigured to change the setting. Next we'll see configuration. In this configuration we have to see how are the stations grouped into different VLANs. Then stations are configured in one of three ways. One is manually, one is automatic, and another is semi-automatic. So we'll see first manual configuration. In a manual configuration, whoever is a network administrator uses the VLAN software to manually assign the stations into different VLANs at setup. Later, migration from one VLAN to another is also done manually. So manually it can be done. Migration from one VLAN to another is also done manually. This is not a physical configuration, but it is a logical configuration. The term manual here means that administrator types the port numbers, IP addresses, or other characteristic using VLAN software. Next we'll see about automatic configuration. In case of automatic configuration, the stations are automatically connected or disconnected from a VLAN using the criteria which is defined by the administrator. So administrator will define the criteria, then automatically it can be connected or disconnected from a VLAN. Okay, the stations. For the example has been mentioned here, we'll see. The administrator can define the project number as the criterion for being a member of a group. When a user changes project, that person automatically migrates to a new VLAN. Now we'll see semi-automatic configuration. A semi-automatic configuration is somewhere between a manual configuration and an automatic configuration. In between manual and automatic is semi-automatic. The initialization is done manually while migration is done automatically. So this is about the configuration. Next, how is the communication between switches? We'll see. In case of a multi-switched backbone, if it is a multi-switch backbone, each switch must know not only which station belongs to which LAN, but also the membership status of stations connected to other switches. For example, so in the previous where we have seen the previous diagram, I'll show the previous diagram. In this diagram, you can see in this diagram, this particular diagram you have to refer. So this diagram you can see that switch A must know the membership status of stations connected to switch B, and switch B must know the same about switch A. Is it clear? Then there are three methods have been designed for this purpose. Okay, one is called table maintenance, another is called frame tagging, and another time division multiplexing. What is this table maintenance method? In this method, when a station sends a broadcast frame to its group members, the switch creates an entry in a table and records station membership. The switches send their tables to one another periodically for updating. Next, what is frame tagging method? In this method, when a frame is traveling between switches, an extra header is added to the MAC frame to define the destination VLAN. The frame tag is used by receiving switches to determine the VLANs to be receiving the broadcast message. In TDM, the next one is TDM. TDM. In this method, the connection trunk between switches is divided into time shared channels. For example, if total number of VLANs in a backbone is 5, each trunk is divided into 5 channels. The traffic destined for VLAN travels in channel 1. The traffic destined for VLAN to travels in channel 2. Then we see and so on. The receiving switch determines the destination VLN by checking the channel from which the frame is received. Then whatever is, we'll see IEEE standard here. In 1996, IEEE 802.1 subcommittee passed a standard called 802.1Q, which defines a format for frame tagging. So this is related for frame tagging. The standard also defines a format to be used in multi-switched backbones and enables the use of multi-vendor equipment in VLANs. IEEE 802.1Q has opened the way for further standardization in other issues related to VLANs. Most vendors have already accepted the standard. The next we'll see advantages. There are several advantages to using VLANs. First one is cost and time reduction. VLANs can reduce the migration cost of stations going from one group to another. Physical reconfiguration takes time and is costly. Instead of physically moving from one segment to station to another segment or even to another switch, it is much easier and quicker to move it by using software. Okay. Second is creating virtual work groups. VLANs can be used to create virtual work groups. For example, in a campus environment where the faculty working on the same project, that is professors working on same, can send broadcast messages to one another without the necessity of belonging to the same department. So this can reduce traffic if multicasting capability of IP is previously. The last advantage is security. VLANs provides an extra measure of security. People who are belonging to the same group can send broadcast messages with the guaranteed assurance that users in other groups will not receive these messages.